Good evening. I'm going to ask you tonight a question. Anybody here that's ever been or would like to be a pilot? Anybody here who's been a passenger? Yeah, that's fairly normal. I'm going to ask you tonight whether you want to be a pilot or a passenger. What does it take to be a pilot? It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of hours. Do you know the average first officer has got 1,500 flying hours and is in debt to about 150,000 euros just to get into the cockpit of a commercial airliner? He's spent years studying manuals, learning about all of the systems on the aeroplane, learning about how to react when something goes wrong. He's learned everything you could possibly ever want to know about the aircraft. He's learned what these things do. I mean, what on earth do these do? As it turns out, this is all you need to fly an aircraft in cloud, at night, or with zero visibility. But he has to learn how to do that. What does it take to be a passenger? Well, buy the ticket, turn up on time, sit in the chair and relax. If you're really lucky and you've paid for the posh seats, you get to lay back. You get a nice meal served to you by a pretty hostess or stewardess or a handsome young steward. And you get a nice film, TV shows, movies, whatever you want. You're entertained. It's really easy to be a passenger. But is that the reality? Is that really true? Is it so great being a passenger? Most of us have had an experience where it's not so great being a passenger, where the guy behind has got very long legs, or the guy in front has laid the seat all the way back while you're trying to eat. We've all travelled on the low-cost airlines where they pre-board you. Go and stand in a hot, stuffy tunnel for half an hour. What's the truth about being a pilot? Well, you get to sit up the front. You get to see where you're going. You get to choose the route. You get to choose the speed. You get to choose the height. And you have the best office in the world. How many other jobs are there where you have to take a pair of sunglasses to work with you every day? Being a pilot is not such a bad thing. But you all know that I'm not talking about flying aircraft or being a passenger on aircraft. I'm talking about our lives, your life. Do you want to be a pilot or do you want to be a passenger? The advantages and disadvantages are pretty clear. To give you my story, I spent the first 40-something years of my life as a passenger, following somebody else's journey, following a route that was laid out by other people, and I ended up getting 25 to 30 kilos overweight. Then I went to see this guy, Tony Robbins, and God did he wind me up. First night I was walking on burning coals, 800 degrees. And then we did an exercise where he showed me what I was going to be like if I carried on the way I was. I decided that I did not want to be Jabba the Hutt. I decided that I was not interested in doing sumo wrestling and I was going to do something about it. So I made a change. I made a change from my old life to my new life. I made a change in how I saw myself, in how I treated myself, how I fed myself. I started doing sports. I started running. I started cycling. And in the space of 1 year, I went from that to that. I went from never doing anything to competing in triathlons. And this year, I've just, last weekend, run my third half marathon of the year. What I want to tell you is, be the pilot of your life. Decide the route. Decide the direction. Decide the altitude and the speed. Make your goals. Make a list of your goals. Visualize them. Read about methods to achieve them. And remember always that giving up, which you will want to do, but giving up is never an option. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. There is only one way to go. There are no limits apart from the ones that you impose on yourself. So let me challenge you tonight. If you've been a passenger on somebody else's journey, going where they decide you should go, make a decision tonight. Maybe you should be the pilot and decide the route, decide the speed, decide the altitude. The choice is yours. Thank you.